Welcome to Great Wrestling Debate, everybody, fellow WWE fans. The sun's out
And through the calendar, we're moving to
Yes,
September.
summer is over,
Yeah,
and
pretty
college
much.
has started for us,
Right.
which means I don't know, a lot of distractions, probably
Yeah.
a lot of class, a lot of
WWE.
homework, a lot of long papers, a lot of
Right.
long boring lectures from professors. But football season's also coming around the corner too.
Right.
So there are alternatives to what some people would say
And-
could be a personal hell
right,
on some days.
right. And here we're now, of course, we got Daniel Bryan at the helm, like the main baby face. Kind of like, week 2 here of that,
Week
if you
two,
want
yeah.
to look at it that way.
Ratings were up last week, but that was kind of acknowledged on television. That they were up.
That's
So
good stuff.
that is a good sign there. But
Yeah,
Monday Night Football is around the corner, and we'll
Right.
see if that.
we'll be looking forward to that. Yeah, but so yeah, we're moving through the season here. Soon the leaves are gonna start changing color.
Yeah.
Kind of like John Cena's t-shirts. And speaking of John Cena,
Oh,
I have a breaking news update with the John Cena joke video. I did record it. I did record the John Cena joke video. That you might
so
be a John Cena.
when is this
So,
magical video?
I'm
gonna
ready
be
to put it
uploaded?
up now. I just wanted to make an announcement for
Okay.
it first before I
To
put
tease
it up.
it, just
But
tease
yeah,
it. Guys, tease it out there. Huh? Gotta advertise it.
but yeah, I think it's I think it's gonna be pretty enjoyable for the WWE universe in general.
Yeah.
So look for that to show up on the channel soon. It's got a Jeff Foxworthy vibe to it, with the redneck joke. You might be a John Cena fan,
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
etc. So look for that video soon. But anyways, let's get down to business here.
Yes, business.
With what's been going on.
Which is what it's all about. Triple H. It's
Right.
business.
Right. As
What
you did
is
mention.
good for business?
Right. I looked into SmackDown last week. It was pretty interesting. They actually had Wade Barrett and Daniel Bryan in a steel cage main event on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So it was a nice touch. Yeah, I mean,
apparently that's a new gimmick for Barrett though. He's this barber guy apparently.
Right.
Because I now know how Cody Rhodes got his mustache gone. Wade Barrett shaved it. So here it is. This is Wade Barrett's new money making gimmick. Apparently, is he's gonna be almost like Brutus the Barber Beefcake, except instead of large scissors, he'll just have he'll probably just go on shaving people pretty much, like shaving heads,
Maybe.
mustaches.
And then,
I mean, which sounds more like a baby face gimmick than a heel gimmick, but
yeah.
I guess,
don't know. We'll
I
see
guess
what-
the guy needs to get on television somehow.
Yeah, but of course he wasn't on Raw though the other night. If you took notice, that was a little
He's
that was
selling.
a little odd.
I don't know. He's selling that new finisher. Brian's got that running high.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Actually, there was a that said that apparently the running high knee and the GTS are from the same wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's from this guy over in Japan called I think it's Kenta. I think is his name. He actually is very popular over in Japan. I think both Bryan and Punk have wrestled him at one point in Ring of Honor at least. And apparently the GTS is a move that Kenta does, which Punk I don't want to say stole,
Right.
but adopted pretty much. And Bryan apparently this running knee is another move that Kenta does over in Japan. So I hope this guy's getting a lot of royalty checks now. since two of his moves. I don't think there's finishing moves. It's just two moves that he does over in Japan are now being featured on WWE programming now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably as a lot of moves are that over the years
Japan
that we've seen.
Japan is known for being a little more stiff than the U.S. as far as professional wrestling goes. Because over there it's not about storytelling. I believe it's Kurt Angle said one time TNA. It's about actual wrestling pretty much.
Right.
It's about being technical and it's not about character.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're all kind of heels and faces, but not to the degree of like a character or anything.
Right. But yeah, I mean that's been the featured babyface Daniel Bryan lately, and Randy Orton the heel, WWE champion again.
And just like any heel,
right.
In the past, he gets some free shit apparently from the company.
Yeah, from Triple H the other night on Raw. That was pretty funny how he introduced Randy Orton to this new truck.
I mean,
to his theme song, "Time to Play the Game."
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch.
I actually enjoyed the fact that he's coming out to his other theme song.
Yeah. Bow down on the
I guess
Alternatives.
yeah, well, I guess that's his heel theme now. I guess.
Right.
Although when he came out to a face reaction. So apparently not everybody saw SummerSlam or last
Yeah,
week's Raw
and
for
I
that
did
match.
notice that Orton. Well, it's mainly the ladies. I think if you take notice, like I was watching Randy Orton wrestle the other night, and it's when he won.
Yeah.
He's you could see ladies in the front row like happy, and so I mean pretty much I think that's like kind of the bulk of people that are cheering for Randy Orton right now are the ladies.
Well, let's face it, they probably don't care about the storytelling or
Right.
anything here.
Yeah.
It's oh boy, half naked guys wrestling each other. This is an awesome porno right here.
Right. Right, but yeah, I thought that was an interesting observation I made. I'm thinking, there's not a lot of booze going on here, and yeah,
Yeah, but it was just ladies. I mean, Triple
clearly
H,
could see.
you heard, it felt like it was a good chunk of the crowd. And then Triple H cut his promo, and I think people finally
Right.
realized, oh, that's right, he's a bad guy now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as soon as Dave Bryan came out, I'm like, okay, when is he going to ruin this vehicle? Because this is how it always
Yeah,
plays out. Somebody has something nice, they show off to the
Backstage,
crowd, and somebody ruins it, whether it's with a cement truck, a mustard
Right.
truck, or just blowing it up.
Right.
And you know what?
And
I'm actually impressed of how they ruined this
did it.
vehicle.
Yeah, this
Because
was
it
a
felt kind of
creative
original.
way.
It felt original.
It did.
And the way Bryan
It
did
made
the
use
original.
of the yes chance.
Oh my god, that was brilliant. I'm like, he's like, yes.
And it's
and you see the button, and it's
Right.
like, okay, that's nice. And also, it's like, holy shit, he actually put yes on.
right. And
You know, and even though he hasn't even had the spray paint in his hand, so it's like, yes. Yes, and then,
Right.
and then he goes, oh, it's in the back, it's in the back. Oh, it's on the side, it's on the side.
it was, and the funny thing was, Triple H and it was something a little like DX like.
Yeah.
DS,
Spray paint.
DXS.
Yeah, the spray paint. Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
But with orange paint,
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a nice touch. And then of course later in the night, they have Daniel Bryan in the main event with another gauntlet match against the members of the Shield. This is a just to show you how much they
Yeah.
like want people to see Daniel Bryan wrestle. Within like a month and a half span, he's in 2 gauntlet matches. This time, yeah.
Well, this one it was pretty much one good match against Seth Rollins, which
Right.
I didn't expect anything less. These two have been wrestling each other since Ring of Honor,
Right.
when Seth Rollins was known as Tyler Black back in the day,
Yeah.
which I think is his real name. Because I think Ring of Honor use your real name, like Bryan Danielson, Tyler Black.
Yeah.
WWE, it's Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And then Dean Ambrose came in and, quick, and then Roman. I mean, like,
You figured it would get a little screwy then.
well, I knew of the time left too. I knew
yeah, that's the funny thing.
You knew it was gonna, it wasn't gonna be a long, maybe
Right.
one long match, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be quick DQ finishes.
Right. Yeah, because you kind of knew that they didn't.
To me, the thing they were trying to sell, I think, also was the fact that Triple H knows there's people who don't like what he's doing there, but he also
Right.
knows that they want to keep their job, so he wants to
Yeah.
see how far he can push somebody's button.
Yeah.
And you have like
And
eventually like the Big Show stay up there and show signs.
looking like he wanted to
yeah,
suddenly throw a WMD.
You have Dolph
I was
Ziggler.
waiting,
You have
but-
Dolph Ziggler kind of like look uncomfortable, and then you have
Yeah.
the Miz who even, and I guess they kind of sold his character as being this loudmouth guy that had no problem saying what the hell he wanted. And all of a
Right.
sudden he goes like to the announcer, said just silence. Goes, yes, I do have something to say, and then he just hesitates and he goes, I'm not gonna say anything
Right.
because I don't want to get fired.
But yeah, I mean, definitely good stuff with Rollins and Daniel Bryan, of course.
Yep.
Nice.
So the Shield's
Yeah.
the Shield are now the enforcers pretty
Right.
much. So,
Huge, of course, from the top turnbuckle. Huge German suplex
Yeah.
on
Oh
Seth
my
Rollins.
God, that was awesome.
So yeah, I mean that was good stuff, and yeah, it was predictable though. They weren't going to have him beat every member of the Shield,
No.
Clean. So
No.
so it doesn't
And-
make them look
and-
weak too.
Well, yeah,
That's good.
And everybody's saying, well, this is the second time Bryan's got his ass kicked. I'm like, yeah, but this time he actually got some payback in there too.
Right. Yeah, and that's the
Let's
point.
face it, the build-up isn't so much to him beating up Randy Orton. I think it's still building up to him beating Triple H. Hell,
Yeah.
even Triple H in his promo before this match with the Cargos, this is my property. The
Right.
vehicle. They point to the belt and goes, this is my property too. I own this. Own this. And it's like, okay, so way to bury the new champion there. It's like, yes, well, actually, I think even Spirit said the line like, "This is my property. Randy's just holding it for me."
I'm gonna call it right now.
Yeah.
like Triple H is pretty much like just saying, yeah, no, Randy Orton's the champ, but in reality, I could be the champ with
Yeah.
my power and influence. So, I think, like I said, the match that I think they're really gearing towards down line is a Triple H Daniel Bryan feud,
Yeah.
maybe at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
But who
maybe at
knows?
WrestleMania. I mean, there's probably a bunch of different ways they can go with this, and I
Obviously,
mean,
no Vince McMahon. So
right,
obviously,
at
we're
least
not gonna get.
tonight,
Obviously,
and no Steph either.
I know we're not gonna get the whole McMahon family every
Every night,
week.
yeah,
Really,
right,
and really, all you would need is to establish Triple as this heel. I think
right,
that's what they've been trying to establish here. This is a heel now. He's a bad guy.
yeah,
He'll be the douchey
and,
boss in that.
right, and obviously he was empowered that that night that
Yeah, exactly.
like,
Abusive
oh, I
of
could,
power in
yeah,
it.
I could, yeah, it's like I could fire, anyway if anyone gets involved in the match. So yeah, I mean,
So, I mean,
either
obviously,
way, there was one of them there.
obviously say up Night of Champions and so on, and another
Yeah.
match now for Night of Champions, and another one that at least got addressed. Well, first of all, Rob Van Dam gets up over here,
Right.
which I still say it once. I don't know what the hell the whole Ricardo gimmick is.
Yeah, it's a little
At least
odd.
he's wearing an RVD shirt, I guess now, and he's
Yeah.
not introducing him in Spanish because
It's a little obscure, but
I'm waiting for him just to come out eventually blowing a whistle, and he could be like Bill Alfonso
Right.
from the ECW, maybe.
yeah, but
His old Robin Dam's old ECW manager.
yeah.
He just like blew a whistle to like his name.
Now, yeah, and speaking of Alberto Del Rio, if you look at all the champions right now that we got,
Yeah.
all the champions are heels. You got Orton, obviously now a
Mhm.
heel.
Mm-hmm.
Del Rio's obviously a heel.
Mm-hmm. Curtis
Axel,
Dean Ambrose,
Dean Ambrose, tag team champions,
AJ.
And AJ, yeah. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
heels, huh?
it's interesting it's interesting if you think about it. All the champions right now are heels, so it's interesting to think in perspective. Come Night of Champions, who's going to be, who's the baby faces that might become,
You mean
become
who's
champions?
going to drop their title, maybe?
Right.
Huh.
Who out there is going to drop
Before
their
Axel
title?
out, because like I said,
Yeah.
It's like a handicap match between him and Heyman, and I guess it's just their way of trying to say we get it. It's not Lesnar Punk, but we still got to keep this feud, and that's the problem with this feud here. I understand that this is a money making feud. I gotta keep it going here, but I can't take Curtis Axel as a serious opponent at this
Right
point.
now, yeah.
Even if he did kick Punk's ass tonight,
Yeah.
even if Paul Heyman
With Paul
Heyman, with Paul Heyman in that, I don't think they can hang on to the feud that long. Honestly, I'm just going with your point. Maybe have Ryback be the new Paul Heyman guy, maybe down the line.
Maybe.
I mean,
because all Ryback's doing right now, which
is bullying, and they even
almost
acknowledge it pretty much. It's this. Come on, Ryback, be a star.
They even acknowledged the Be a Star campaign.
Exactly, and this is clearly part of that campaign.
Right.
We'll have an actual bully on our TV show.
Right.
As a way of promoting the campaign.
Yeah.
But obviously, like I said, the question is who do you do? And I was, I said John Cena, but he's out for 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, and also where does Ryback go with this gimmick? I mean, I get it. He's been doing entertaining segments, but when's he going to have a match?
There. Yeah, he's not out there even having matches now.
Yeah, it's just
it's
does he even care about matches anymore? Is it just all about
these two? And I mean, I like I enjoy the 2 minute, the 1.5 2 minute segments they even give us. And yeah, I mean, Ryback is clearly at ease when he does these segments, but yeah, I mean, have him like wrestle again. I mean, you don't even see him out there in the ring at all. Lately on the shows, so yeah, that's a little odd. But yeah, I mean, at least the thing was that people thought originally that CM Punk was going to face Curtis Axel for the Intercontinental Championship. Some people were suggesting that might happen, but
why? Punk's above that belt.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It would.
And
if he
the
won
fact
it,
that they
it wouldn't elevate the belt. It would bring him down to the belt.
It would. Yeah.
As sad as that sounds, that's the truth. He's a main event vendor.
He just came off
mid-card belt.
He just came in the last 25 years or whatever. He just came off the longest WWE title reign earlier in the year. So he's been competing with The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar and John Cena and The Rock, etc.
Which once again, you said Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, Chris Jericho,
right?
And also we throw in Curtis Axel,
right? Who's a guy? Yeah, he's in development.
Yeah, he's young, he's hungry, but he hasn't done a whole lot to me to make me say.
So yeah,
I want to see these two guys go at it here. I mean,
but I
To me, I
guess
feel like they're just trying to milk this
the
feud as
only
much as they can.
so I guess with what they have going right now, I guess the only logical thing is okay, have Paul Heyman in there
Yeah.
with Curtis Axel. CM Punk can kind of get his hands on both
Well,
guys,
it's also an
see where it
elimination
goes.
handicap match. You can phone the idea of Axel's
Because
eliminated. Punk finally gets that one-on-one with
Yeah.
Heyman then, because Axel has to go to the back.
right. So that makes it interesting. That could maybe give some closure to
Yeah.
this part of the feud here, because if Punk against Axel 1-on-1 again with the
Well, Punk
title on
beat
the
him
line
clean.
or not, it's like
Well,
that's
Punk
kind of a joke.
beat him clean Monday, and then he beat him up the week before. So really, has
Yeah.
Axel even got an upper hand here? I mean, yeah, he beat
Yeah,
him up.
except with except this past Monday on Raw.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously the kendo stick beat down, and that made it interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was good stuff though. I mean, like with the WWE Championship, I mean, those CM Punk and the Daniel Bryan thing, like you can count on those stories right now to
Like I said, the
do pretty
ratings were
well.
up. The ratings were up, so that's a good sign already.
Yeah.
But Monday Night Football is around the corner, and
Right, so they
where
gotta-
the
yeah,
official make it
so-
or break it comes in.
Right. So it's aside from those two things, they could definitely benefit from other stuff as well, because when you get done watching a Daniel Bryan segment or CM Punk, it's like okay, now what do they go now what's there to be interested in until later on when there's one of those guys are on TV. So
Yeah.
that makes it interesting. And yeah, going back to Del Rio and RVD, I mean, it seems like they're treating Del Rio like a mid Carter again when he's the world champion. Like
Well, that's
the way
that's because it's a mid card belt title.
Yeah, but that's
It's
the
not an
problem.
actual world title. It's
That's
just called the world title.
That's the thing here, because if RVD wins the belt, which is unlikely,
I doubt it.
which is
Based on
unlikely.
his contract set up, I don't see it
Yeah,
happening.
with the way which is a shame, the way his contract set up, that seems highly unlikely at this point. But if a guy like RVD won it, it'd be like, okay, you know what, the belts to me is elevated, just like when Ziggler won it, and he was, it's like, okay, he's it was Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Bank, and
Yeah.
when etc. Like when CM Punk initially won the WWE title from Del Rio it's like every time somebody beats him for the belt, normally it's like, okay, good. It's like, but
The only thing about the Rio at this point here is that is that ugly, is that weird red eye that I feel like I'm staring at each episode now. That's still, it's not black anymore, but it's like a red eye still.
Right.
Reddish eye, and it looks really messed up.
Yeah. But I mean, I mean, that's the thing here. I mean,
Maybe,
Del Rio
he should
wins.
wear an eye patch, maybe.
Yeah.
Go with a pirate gimmick, maybe. Work for Paul Burchill.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's the thing here. I mean, Del Rio, like, it's like treated like a mid Carter last night or the other night on Raw, and it continues to make the World Heavyweight Championship kind of like a mid card title.
Pretty much.
And Damien Sandow, I mean, it's like, again, they continue to have him lose and look embarrassed. That's been the trend for a while.
For Money in the Bank, he'll be a world champion eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
Oh, I should say it there. He'll win a belt called the World Title. He won't be a world champion.
Right.
Because William there's only one world championship, and that's the one that Randy Orton's holding right now.
Pretty much, yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if they're gonna treat the World Heavyweight Championship like a mid card title, it's like, well, then when those guys are on, regarding the title, it's like, well, it's not really gonna be that interesting if it's treated like a mid card title, and so when Monday Night Football starts,
then I got asked at the Solomons, there was a question, and it was, when did the world title become a mid card title? And he said when Triple H dropped it to Batista and their feud was over.
Yeah.
And actually,
if
you look back though, Tyler, that kind of was the case. Because Batista gets sent to SmackDown, and he kind of was getting pushed, But then Kurt Angle got the belt, kind of after that. But then after that, what? Rey Mysterio had the belt.
But the Undertaker had a few reigns with it.
Yeah, but even
it fluctuated.
But even then, it was acknowledged as, oh, it's on the B. Can you understand?
Right.
Stand to there. When the belt went to the world title, there was a trend back in the day where Raw was the A show and SmackDown was the B show.
Right.
So anything that went to SmackDown was already viewed as an inferior to Raw, kind of. And for me, that's kind of what, and hell, even Paul Heyman took a shot at that one time at Easter when I stand. He said
ECW.
the reason why JBL, and he pointed at him, you were the world champion was because on SmackDown was because Triple H would not work Tuesday nights, which of course,
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I don't think fans understood there because I think most fans to this day don't understand that SmackDown's a tape show on Tuesday.
Right.
It's not live on Friday or Thursday. But no, Heyman was right. That's kind of what it was.
Yeah.
In fact, that's why I think when Triple H eventually did move to SmackDown when he was, I think, the WWE champion,
WWE
that
champion.
shocked people because people were like, this is a guy who well said, I'm not going to go to the B show. I'm above the B show.
Right.
And here he is at the B show. And of course, to be fair though, I think when that happened, I think they had Chris Jericho on there and
On SmackDown.
and Jeff Hardy and to me that's when SmackDown went from the B show to the A show for a little bit because then Raw I just felt like they had
I think they still yeah, but see that's the thing the titles then were changed and it's like the World Heavyweight. I mean at times the World Heavyweight Championship has been again it depends who's been holding it. Like when Big Show was champion, last year, early this year. I mean, to me, okay, that's where it should be. But the problem was he was facing, a baby face who needed Ricardo's help. The whole, it seemed to even win the title back.
But like I said, I really do agree with the Solomon Monster. I think once Triple H dropped the title to Batista, that was almost a sign of, oh, that's not the real World Heavyweight title. The real one is the WWE one, and it's on Raw right now.
Yeah.
Or at this point, it's viewed as the top level one.
Yeah, obviously right now, but that's unfortunate.
In fact, if you look at events, the World Heavyweight title is always going on before the WWE one, never usually after.
Yeah.
So I mean, it almost WWE's pretty much acknowledging which belt matters more to the company at this point.
And yeah, in recent weeks they've acknowledged it when they've said, like John Cena, when they had John Cena say, "I've held this."
No, but the one that was the obvious one was Dan Bryan saying that his one only world title reign, meant nothing, and this is the one WWE title reign for 5 minutes meant more than that 3-4 month reign of the world title pretty much.
And it definitely ever since they kind of the past few years, maybe even several, SmackDown hasn't been on the same level to begin with. I mean, back in the day, I mean, you kind of had some evenness to some degree, and at times, but obviously,
it's still better. I mean, the SmackDown was at its worst when Batista was gone and Kurt Angle was gone.
Right.
The only two main event guys left on Triple H got drafted and Randy Orton got traded to Raw. The only two really guys left on SmackDown were Rey Mysterio and Booker T, who have that King Booker gimmick.
Well, you had obviously an Undertaker at that time.
I don't think he was featured as much. This is when he was going.
I mean, he wasn't.
No, but Tom said that's when he was going on these part-time. I mean, yeah, and you had Mr. Kenny and MVP. I mean, but they were still young and not known.
Edge, I think Edge was.
Edge eventually did get moved, and that's when Edge became a main eventer because he was pretty much the top heel at the time.
Yeah.
But really, once Batista had that injury, and then Kurt Angle Angle left.
Yeah.
I mean, and Randy Orton had to leave. Really, it was down to Rey Mysterio and King Booker. I mean, at one point, those were the only two main event guys. So you had the next guys were Finlay and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, they're trying to build.
Which were still considered mid card.
And then Bobby Lashley was moved to ECW, of course, and
that pretty much
got kind of an inferior hybrid.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley got traded to ECW and put the final nail in the coffin to ECW everywhere, pretty much.
Right.
Once he got moved and once he won that title, every ECW fan knew this is it. It's over. This whatever revolution they thought we were going to get with ECW was over because they put it on a belt that ECW fans did not want to see. And I'm still committed to the fact that Vince intentionally screwed ECW over pretty much.
Yeah, I mean...
He brought it back to bury it.
It's like they wanted to put a world title on Bobby Lashley at the time, but that they had to, move him to ECW and give him, that's
and how Vince even said something about Vince is even accused about the whole invasion angle. Did he have WCW invade just so he can bury WCW by having his talent be superior to the WCW talent?
Right.
I mean, I don't think you can say that because I think the problem with that feud was that you never had any of the big boys in there. You had Booker T and Diamond Dallas Page, who really wasn't viewed as a big guy because he had got some of that stalker gimmick with the Undertaker's wife.
Yeah.
But you had no Kevin Nash, you had no Hulk Hogan, you had no Scott. I mean, you had no Sting, so really you didn't really have the the main event guys from WCW in that angle. ECW, you can definitely say it was a sabotage, and really Vince did it for one reason.
Right.
He got sick and tired of ECW chants having on WWE programs.
Yeah.
So what better to do it than to just crush their dreams pretty much and say, I'll bring it back just to screw you guys pretty much.
Yeah.
I'll give Rob Van Dam the belt for like a month. You know, probably not knowing that Rob would screw it up on his own by getting caught with some marijuana on a highway. But,
wellness policy. Yeah.
But then give it the Big Show and have Big Show slowly destroy every ECW original. Because they're not good enough. But yeah, do it in an actual wrestling match. That's the thing too. Once Rob dropped it and WWE stopped doing Extreme Rule matches for every match, it was it's normal matches because you ECW fans have to understand that we're a wrestling company, not a bingo hall in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, remember when they did that? It was the Hammerstein Ballroom, ECW and Sci-Fi. CM Punk's debut.
Yeah.
The only guy that got a positive reaction the whole night.
Yeah.
Because what was the rest of the card pretty much? You had Kurt Angle beat the Brooklyn Brawler, which got, I guess, kind of a small cheer. But the main event, Batista and Big Show, two guys that the fans could give two shits about in that crowd, and which was some of the best chants. And after that, there was no more bingo hall appearances for this new ECW and Sci-Fi. Because to me, Vince did that intentionally just to say, F you, ECW.
Yeah.
This is WWE. This is just ECW in name only.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be ECW.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's like it
and
was
good.
And
I bet you went to like Paul Heyman's bad fallout, and obviously he's gotten over it now. He's back for the company again.
Yeah, like it was good that summer, but then then you're right. Like,
what I said,
Kurt Angle's gone, and
once Bobby Lashley won it, everybody knew. It might have been still on for a couple more years. Might have had like guys like CM Punk and John Morrison and even Chavo Guerrero of all people winning the world title. And even Kane, Mark Henry, and hell, Matt Hardy.
Yeah, I mean,
but like I said, at one point ECW was just viewed as almost like a development territory of anything. It was like, okay, you go from development, you go to ECW because you're working with a bunch of C-level stars anyway. Maybe a few veterans. Like Christian was in there at one point. He was pretty much viewed as this veteran working with a bunch of young new talent, pretty much. But really, once Bobby Lashley won it, the whole days of the bingo hall were over.
Yeah, it seemed like his ECW run. It seemed like a springboard because then not too long later they moved him to Raw or drafted him to Raw or whatever. Back when they actually had drafts. So yeah, I mean,
and
that's
he
the
didn't even drop the belt to anybody. Because once again,
because he's vacated it to we can't have an ECW champion on Raw. So.
Well, when I had that, let's vacate it so he can't lose to any of these ECW guys.
Right, exactly. And then of course
Tyler, his last offense he beat
the first
Tommy
time
Dreamer,
he did
Sabu, and the Sandman in a 3-on-1 hand. No, wait, it was Tommy Dreamer, Sandman. I think it was Balls Mahoney, not Sabu.
Maybe it was.
Because I should say Sabu was gone by at that point. That's the thing too.
They're losing their originals.
Once you start releasing the originals, or better yet, trading the Sandman to Raw of all places. You pretty much would almost every off to these fans too. Oh, they don't need to be on ECW to be considered ECW originals.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
so I mean,
it was kind of
it was sabotage from the get go.
But
and Paul Heyman knew that, and that's where he got asked to be released from his contract and walked away and never talked about it, never wanted to hear about it again. For him, ECW was still that one night stand 2005.
Yeah.
Maybe 2006.
2006 was good. Yeah.
But 2005 to me still is the last true moment of ECW. It was to me the proper farewell for a product.
Yeah.
That then WWE wanted to make cash out of, and then at the same time screw the fan base.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, anyways, getting back to
Raw. Let's go with the Raw.
Yeah, the WWE. I mean, yeah. Bottom line with the World Heavyweight Championship, if they, it's like at this point, it's way secondary to the WWE Championship. If they're, which is why I'm kind of in favor of them just saying, okay, WWE Championship is the only World Championship.
You mean just acknowledge it?
Unfortunately,
I'm pretty sure they've acknowledged it at this point, or if not, they're definitely implying.
Yeah. Which is,
If
they
you're not
could always
picking,
just drop
if you're not picking up on the subliminal messages at
Yeah.
this point here, I don't know what you've been watching then.
especially now if they can have the WWE champion on both brands, like with Orton this past. So yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
like it's a little odd at this point that they would continue to have the World Heavyweight Championship when there's no brand separation. So yeah, that's the bottom line there, and I'll continue to think that as long as the championship is treated like that.
Exactly.
So, but anyway, again, RVD winning it. I mean, that would be cool. That would be nice and all,
It's
but
not gonna happen.
it's not gonna.
It's not gonna happen.
It's a yeah, and
Which means when
and it's
RVD goes, Ricardo has to find a new best buddy to hang out
and
with.
and still it would feel like it'd be overshadowed then, because I'm sure that they're gonna continue to have Orton and Bryan on both shows,
Yeah.
like they did this past week, like they're supposed to this week. So
I still think have Ricardo can
yeah.
get in that ring and have a feud with Alberto. Not for the title. God no.
Yeah.
But like I said, Ricardo's a wrestler. He can wrestle and he has
Just
a
a
legitimate
feud. Yeah.
feud here with Alberto here. It doesn't need to be,
Right.
Oh, I need this guy to defend me.
Right, and being RVD's manager too would
Or
help him get a good reaction.
And if we're gonna acknowledge that master, do like a Eugene bit. Have like some veteran train him, and he do like show like funny videos of him like at wrestling camp learning basic moves that he probably could do in his sleep.
Right. But yeah, I mean, with the whole thing going on, I mean, here I like what they're doing with the. I mean, they're trying to expand with the tag team division, but they keep having the Real Americans lose, like time after. And I know the whole Darren Young thing and tied.
Yeah, but they're
it's
not
like they're trying
acknowledging
to,
that on television
right.
here. It's about
That's
the
the
millions of
problem.
dollars, Tyler. Millions
Right.
of dollars. Millions of dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a shame, like that
Well, it's
the Real Americans seem
Well,
to
why
get,
would they be feuding with the Shield? They're heels.
right, exactly. But I mean,
You need a face.
could
then.
just have-
and the only other faces are the Usos, which already had their shot,
but then
and then the primetime players.
and then Big Show and Mark Henry.
Okay, we're gonna start creating
Which they
random
might.
teams together. Then fine, Big Show, Mark Henry.
But I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, I mean, it's not like they even have to, be feuding for the belt if they're a tag team. I mean, just have you could just have a tag team
No,
feud.
but it
And
looks like
then
the primetime players are gonna be the next tag team getting a shot.
they could, yeah.
They're on a winning streak now.
But I mean, at least, I mean, that doesn't. I mean, they don't have to like have the Real Americans lose to them 3 times in a row. I think now, that's all I'm saying. Because I think SmackDown they also lost to them too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in the span of about a week, they lost to him 3 times.
Well, I mean, the moral of the story is this: do not get caught with a bag of weed in a car.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you're in Colorado where it's legal.
Yeah.
We talked about it in my class today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, about how there's like a marijuana fest and how you have even cops handing out Doritos to everybody. And So I mean, if you're WWE and you want to smoke pot, go to Colorado and do it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
everybody's high up there.
Yeah. But I mean, that's not too much else. I think, other than those main stories that we've
I don't know.
to talk
Where's
about.
Kane and why can't they explain this?
Yeah,
to
they
us?
didn't. Yeah, they didn't really have anything there with the Wyatt family. I mean, a lot of focus on the Shield and this kind of being with the the McMahon and Triple H and Randy Orton side. That's interesting. It's funny because people were saying how like, oh, maybe Orton's gonna turn heel by being revealed as like a another member of the Shield or something.
Yeah,
that didn't necessarily happen, but they kind of are aligned now anyway.
Yeah.
So that makes it not really like aligned. They just have like Triple H.
To me, the Shield just paid enforcers. They're taking
Right.
it. They're doing it for the
they're
money.
like the
They're doing it for the
enforcers.
money, Tyler.
Yeah, they're like the enforcers now. So that's
Unlike
it's
John
kinda
Cena, who
funny.
does it for the kindness of his heart and anything there. They're doing it for the money.
right.
Because that's how it works. Faces do it not for the money. They do it for the fans, and heels do it for the money.
For the money, yeah. Or just
If
beating
they're
people
if they're gonna
up.
do something, they get paid doing it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't really have anything else with
Okay, I guess
WWE other than, I mean, keep
What-
up the good work with
Yep.
what they've been doing good
Yep.
with.
I guess we can go to a quick TNA segue then.
Okay, yeah, let's.
TNA. When you need laughter, you give it. Update on the Jesse Swordsman situation. Remember I told you the guy got released, broke his neck in the company,
Yeah.
and how TNA at one point like said he would have a job for life. Dixie Carter's always said that, and apparently, Jesse might be suing TNA for not paying his medical bills.
Oh yeah.
Because apparently Jesse's mom has been paying his medical bills, and apparently not all his medical expenses get covered under the health insurance plan. So some has to come out of her pocket.
Yeah.
She's now filing for bankruptcy at this point in her life. And Jesse Sorensen asked on Twitter, "Does anybody know a good lawyer?" And Sean Waltman, that's right, X-Pac, had just said, "Yeah, I know a guy. Let me know, and I'll give him to you." So TNA might have a major lawsuit on their hand.
Oh boy.
This is the first time there was a diva. There was a knockout. Yeah, because they're not called divas. They're called knockouts.
Knockouts. Yeah.
A knockout by the name of Daphne one time got released and wanted TNA to pay for her medical benefits because Daphne went through, surprisingly, because like I said, in TNA, their knockouts are wrestlers, not so they go through actual shit like ladder matches, tables, or in Daphne's case, barbed wire tables. And believe it or not, you do get shit done to you if you do that. Yeah. And Daphne thought, since it was a TNA event and TNA told her to do this, that they should be paying her medical bills. Well, TNA said no. So Daphne had a lawsuit out. And it looked like Daphne was going to win. And here's the thing. If TNA, a wrestling promotion, has to pay their companies, their employees' expenses, then WWE also has to pay their... So some reason... TNA settled eventually. I remember when he told me on the Solid Monster that maybe WWE contacted somebody at TNA and said, "Look, settle, because if this happens, then not just you, we're fucked, and every other wrestling company's." I mean, WWE's gonna be fine, but I think this is an idea that Vince doesn't want to pay his guys more money. Vince also believes that they get paid way above what they usually get paid. They should be able to cover all their medical bills and that.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, I think WWE has improved on that whole idea, but not to the point where they're giving everybody their health insurance yet. Even though, they're doing crazy shit on television.
Yeah.
And yet WWE's just saying, "Oh yeah, you don't need health insurance. You can afford your own. We don't need to provide it for you." But no, there was that. And apparently AJ Styles, or as I like to call it, TNA's Sting, John Cena, is in his contract's about to expire.
Oh yeah.
All he says on his Facebook page is contract's gonna expire in September. He asked the fans on his Facebook page, "Where should I go? WWE, Ring of Honor, or stay in TNA?" So clearly, once again, down to the wire and TNA and contracts. Because even Magnus and Samoa Joe brought that up one time. They said that, "Oh yeah, we signed new deals, but it was like a week before it expired." Or even Joe said at one point, "Or my contract did expire, and it was a week after it expired." So I don't know who's running contracts down at TNA here.
Yeah.
But I know the fact that Vince would never, except maybe in CM Punk's case, wait down that close to the wire to extend a contract here. Which is making people start thinking of the whole Brooke Hogan firing last week, that TNA is definitely in financial trouble here. Because if this is coming down to money, and TNA wants to save, and other wrestlers want to raise because they feel they've worked their ass off, then clearly there's financial problems here. Also, besides AJ Styles, apparently Mr. Anderson's also about to expire, and he's also going through a contract debacle too. Which, like I said, he's gone, and well, again, I guess aces and eights just goes back to aces and sevens, or aces and sixes with Tito Ortiz. But and then TNA did one of the most stupidest things on their official site. Tyler, it was on their official YouTube channel. TJ Perkins, the new X Division champion, who goes under the name Manic, used to be known as Suicide, but I guess clearly somebody finally told somebody at TNA, maybe Suicide isn't the best name for a character. So he's now called Manic. And he's the X Division champion now. Apparently, TJ Perkins has only been wrestling with TNA in a per event kind of deal where you show up, you get paid. It's not like it's an actual contract, like a 3-year deal or anything. And this is the X Division champion, Tyler. This must be their second most popular belt, or behind the world title belt. So Dixie Carter, I guess, to try to put every fan to rest about we're in financial troubles, decided to show on their website an actual contract negotiation between her and TJ Perkins. And the first minute is pretty much, well, TJ, you've been working hard and dedicated, and so on, and then the last minute's like a contract, and maybe there's a hand job in there. I don't know. It felt very transparent, but also like very like, oh, this is odd. There's rumors of TNA and financial troubles, and here's Dixie showing. What do you mean? We made a part-time employee a full-time employee now. No company under financial turmoil would ever do that. It's like, yeah, unless you wanted to maybe try to say that you're not in financial turmoil. Because I got news for you. If you're gonna be that transparent, because I guarantee you, Vince McMahon, no way in hell would be that transparent with contract negotiations. I don't know. It was so special. Again, TNA is not letting anybody down as far as failing at stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I figured I'd throw that in there.
Yeah. TNA got knocked in a meme I saw this week for meme of the week. The top of it's like the top half of it is a picture of an article on Bleacher Report.
Yeah.
That's titled 5 Reasons Why TNA is Better Than WWE. And then on the bottom half, it just has various pictures of WWE superstars laughing. Like Wade Barrett laughing, Ryback in the shower the other week. With his bullying segment.
Yeah, I know.
Having a picture of him laugh.
Better?
Just various people laughing.
Well, here's the thing there too.
It's pretty good.
This is how TNA used to word it here. TNA used to be almost like ECW at the time. Used to say like, we got wrestlers, not entertainers. We got the best wrestlers. We got the best matches and that. And it's like, no, to the point now it's like, no, you're not better at anything. Yeah. You're second place. Time to man up. Yeah. And it's time to man up. It's a very distant second place. But apparently in Dixieland, nothing is wrong with the company. Right.
And other than that, I mean, there's been talks apparently surfacing. Goldberg is going to be featured in WWE 2K14, which is interesting. Because of the mode.
Which means since he's only been in one WrestleMania, his match is him and Brock Lesnar. Which clearly that match would be way more entertaining than the one in real life. Unless because if I'm looking at the way it's set up, it sounds like it's gonna be one of those like objectives. You gotta meet this objective to get like a cinematic finish, maybe.
Yeah.
Which means, good God, do we need to actually go through the actual match then of Goldberg and Brock Lesnar? Because if you watch the match, Tyler, it's a bunch of like
I did. Yeah,
it's 10 minutes of stalling, pretty much.
Yeah, there's a lot of stall until they actually get to down to wrestling.
Well, yeah, but even then, it's like and this is how Austin worded it. He was the best referee. He said there was a point where he just felt like just running off the turnbuckle and just slamming into one of them because it would be a lot more action than what they were doing. And suppose, like you said,
there's kind of the constant chanting kind of made it comical.
Well, it's legendary for the wrong reasons.
People both leaving the company.
People hated Brock. They called him a traitor
at that point.
How dare he leave the company that pretty much made him the face of the company at one point for the NFL of all places, and Bill Goldberg pretty much saying, "Oh yeah, I'm better than these guys. I'm a WCW. I am better than the WWE guys." I mean, like, let's be fair here, Goldberg. They gave you the world title. That's more than DDP got. That's more than Kevin Nash got. They gave Hulk Hogan the world title at one point. That's because he's Hulk freaking Hogan.
Yeah.
And Scott, it was better than Scott Hall. I mean, really, any guy gave WCW. Yeah.
I mean, there's various reasons.
Even Booker T.
Yeah.
Goldberg came off way better than even Booker T did with the company.
I mean,
I really don't know what.
There were various reasons that I've heard for Goldberg leaving.
But the only legend about that match, was the fan chants, really. And the fact that Austin stunned both of them at the end of the match, which I guess is what you can do, maybe. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe you gotta play the role of Austin and try to make the match exciting.
Yeah.
By maybe throwing off your referee shirt and saying, I'm out of retirement. Let's go. Triple threat.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, right now, lately there's been like, Goldberg on Twitter has been denying, any return to WWE.
I doubt he's returning.
Yeah, but there have been talks. Apparently.
I heard a talk of another Brock Lesnar Bill Goldberg match, which I can already tell you is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
The company knows how bad the first one was. And keep on, that was a young Brock Lesnar and a younger Bill Goldberg. Now we have to deal with Goldberg and he's he's
From what I've
mid
heard
40s.
from a report, I mean he's been keeping in good shape.
Okay, but
But
Tyler,
I mean
he's in his
he'd
mid
only
40s.
yeah he'd only be he'd only be
And we just saw Brock
for like a
Lesnar's best
match.
match against a guy who's way smaller than he is.
Yeah.
So what makes you think that a big guy?
Well, the thing too is Goldberg. Like I think he said he would only want to face Stone Cold, and then I think maybe the Undertaker. It was like I think those are the only two guys like he really said like he'd really be interested in
Well,
facing.
the whole Stone Cold Bill Goldberg dream match has been going on since
Right.
hell. My cousins watched the product back in
Yeah.
the great Monday Night Wars and that. Which because everybody always looked at Bill Goldberg as almost like Stone Cold Steve Austin in a way.
Yeah.
You know, he's bald. I mean, he's a little more jacked than Austin is, but you know, it's the battle of the bald head guys pretty much. Honestly, the closest thing we came to an Austin maybe Goldberg match was in The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Since you know they were kind of on opposite ends, and you never really see them though in a scene together though, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because you think of that wrestling history, you want to film in a scene together. But I don't remember one scene where they're actually out there together.
Yeah.
I remember Bob Sapp. I remember Bob Sapp making Austin shit his pants in the movie, which was kind of hilarious since it was Stone Cold Steve Austin. But no, I don't remember one scene with him and Bill Goldberg actually like butting heads at one point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a grudge there or anything. I mean,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I seriously doubt Goldberg's coming back.
Yeah.
I seriously doubt the company wants to deal with this.
The incentive, apparently the incentive has been that his son hasn't gotten to see him wrestle live, which we've mentioned before.
Yeah, but at the same time there, I think he also knows if he wants to see his son, you know, his son wants to see him wrestle live. But he also knows, well, Sonny, Daddy was younger back in the day. Daddy can't do all this shit today. I mean, Tyler, at one point, he could do a cartwheel or a backflip.
Backflip, yeah.
Yeah. I remember one time he did a backflip and he ran right into a spear then.
Yeah.
I doubt he has that much of an athletic ability now.
Yeah, I mean,
He might be jacked still, but I doubt he's that.
Apparently, like, I read a report on NoDQ.com and that somebody, whoever, like, said he was, like, in very good shape or, you know, I don't know if
somebody also, Tyler, somebody else said Warner Brothers offered Christian Bale $50 million to reprise the role of Batman. So clearly, those rumors were not true because Ben Affleck's the new Batman.
So yeah, I mean, who knows at this point?
Yeah, I mean, until it comes out of the horse's mouth, at least it's a rumor.
But for the first time in years, I mean, at least you got Goldberg in a WWE game. So I mean, for now, you know, use him
and maybe that and that's. You know what? He gets a paycheck out of it, and that makes it happy.
And I mean, who knows? I mean, the other year.
And hell, if you want to see Goldberg Austin, you can do it in a video game.
Yeah. Man. But I mean, who knows? I mean, because Brock Lesnar was in WWE. Okay, it was 2012, I guess. At the time, it wasn't called 2K.
Yeah.
Now it's called 2K, but it was, WWE 12.
Oh yeah.
Of course,
DLC,
Lesnar was
DLC,
introduced in that game, and then
that
suddenly
that was while he was still under a contract with UFC,
right.
I believe.
And then not long after he retired.
That wasn't via WWE. That was via THQ. So that's why he could do it. It was WWE. Dana White would have said, "Time out. No, you're not."
Yeah.
It was a THQ deal, and that's why he was like. So that's kind of like the Hulk Hogan deal too, kind of. Like Hogan's in the game doesn't mean Hulk Hogan's leaving TNA and going back to WWE. It's not a WWE contract. It's a video game contract.
Right.
With a video game company.
But then it's unfortunate that like they couldn't have Kurt Angle in the game.
Well,
for whatever reason.
I think some people. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that definitely surprised some people. But yeah, maybe there's more. Like I said, maybe there's more. Too many bridges got burned. Maybe if that's still.
Maybe yeah.
Like I said, when people say they want Kurt Angle back, it's like even if he wants to go back, would the company even want him back at this point?
Yeah.
Because I don't know
how many. Not under the current state.
Well, yeah.
With his
like I said, it wasn't that he left and he was being bitchy about it. It's what he said on TNA about the company that pissed I think most people off, saying that Vince McMahon treated him like shit.
Yeah.
When in reality, Vince was trying to help him. Kurt, you got to get a rest. You got to take a break. And Kurt's like, no, I can still wrestle. I can still perform. I can still perform at a high level. It's like, no, Kurt, you understand. You're not mentally there.
Yeah.
And now we finally learn in TNA, after 3 DUIs, the man's finally going to get help.
Yeah.
This is something that Vince McMahon WWE said before he signed with TNA, pretty much. This is why he got released in the first
Yep.
place, Tyler. And Dixie's like, oh no, it's mistreating an employee, a legend in this company. We're gonna hire him and give him a world title run, and even if he has 2 DUIs, when he's not gonna drop the belt at all, because who cares about punishment to legends, really?
Yeah.
I remember that he had the world title at one point, Tyler, and a week before pay-per-view, he gets a DUI. And I'm thinking in the main event, I think it's like it's him versus Matt Morgan versus Sting. I'm thinking he's got to drop the belt. He just got a freaking DUI before pay-per-view.
So yeah.
What company promotes a champion like that? And Kurt Angle walks out the champion, which shocked the hell out of everybody. But it's gonna be like, so this is it, Dixie? A DUI is a slap on, not even a slap on the wrist. I mean, not a suspension, not a drop of the belt. I mean, guarantee you, this was Vince McMahon's company.
Right. Yep. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for now. That'll wrap things up for the Great Wrestling Debate.
Yep.
This week.
See ya.
We'll get back. Yep. We'll get back next week.
Whenever,
and
like
also,
you said,
yep.
like I said, college and everything, we don't really.
Yeah. A little day, maybe a day late here, but
Yeah.
But stay tuned for the John Cena joke video, which I think I'll post later.
Yep.
Today
Should be highly entertaining.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in as always.